With News Channel 10 WPUN, I'm Peter Winklemeir. Thanks for joining us this morning. Here's our top stories. In science news, top physicist and author Theodore Rachemsky has written a best-selling new book on anti-gravity. Reviewers tell us it's impossible to put down. A new addiction program opened today in Maple Valley. The addiction program focuses on individuals who are addicted to kids' games. Founder and CEO Alex Youssef said he received inspiration from his own experience. "I used to be addicted to the hokey pokey," he said, "but then I turned myself around." An unfortunate death in a medical facility in Brownsville today. The patient was brought in with severe hemorrhaging and needed a blood transfusion. However, he could not remember his blood type. He did, however, leave very poignant last words. Nurses reported that he repeatedly said, "Be positive, be positive." A top coin manufacturing company had to shut down operations today unexpectedly. When asked why the coin factory failed, a spokesman for the company said, "We don't know. It just doesn't make sense." In other news, two antennas were married at a ceremony at City Hall today. Attendees said the ceremony wasn't great, but the reception was excellent. A new restaurant opened in downtown Halifax today. The restaurant is named Karma. Karma has some unique features in the fact that it has no menus. Everyone simply gets what they deserve. A dangerous but successful operation in India today. A man with an aggressive disease was brought in and had to have his entire left side amputated from his body. Doctors say now he's all right. And finally, in Ireland today, a new world record for bean soup recipes. O'Hare's Pub entered their world-famous 239 bean soup recipe and took first place. When asked why the soup only had 239 beans, founder Michael O'Hare said simply, "Well, if we added one more bean, it'd be 240. With WPUN Pennsylvania News Network, I'm Peter Winklemeir. Thanks for joining us.
Kate and Carson and Cannon, today's challenge of the week is called Bombs Away. And we're going to be using this really cool rocket launcher, which shoots these rockets into the air by stepping on the launcher. Now, the way the game works is each one of you will get 5 rockets, and those 5 rockets are your chance to score points. You can adjust the rocket launcher if you want to, if you notice the rockets are going away from the target. Let me show you the target. If your rocket soars through the air and lands inside this white circle, you get 1 point. If it lands inside the cones, then you get 3 points. And if you are so good that it lands on this blue bullseye, then you will get 5 points. At the end of your round, we'll tally up how many points you received, and whichever one of you gets the most points wins the game. Are you ready to play?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because we begin in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, Cannon, are you ready to play? All right, let's start with our first rocket. Let's see if you can get it over there inside those cones. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, almost. Let's point it out a little bit more for you. All right, no points that time. Here we go. Rocket number 2. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, a little bit shorter that time. That's okay. Good job. We're going to push it harder this time and see if we can get it all the way into the cones. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, good job. Cannon, you got 3 points inside the cones. You've got 2 more rockets. Let's see what rocket number 4, where this one goes. You did a great job that time. Let's see if this one. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, inside the white line, that gives you 1 point. That is 4 points total. Awesome job. Here is our last rocket. This is rocket number 5. Let's see how many points you can get. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, a little short that time. That's okay. You got 4 points. Good job. High fives. Here we go. Woo! Good job. All right, Kate, you're up. You got to beat Cannon's 4 points, and we are at rocket number 1. See if you can get it inside the cones. Ready? Whenever you're ready. Oh my goodness. Whoa, way over that time. Amazing. You went outside the circle on the other side. So this time you probably don't want to push as hard on rocket number 2. All right, here we go. She's adjusting a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Bombs away. Oh, perfect. Kate, you got it inside the cones. That is 3 points for Kate. You are just 1 point behind Cannon at this point. Here we go. Rocket number 3. What can she do this time? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, 3 more points because you did get inside the cones just by the very end of the rocket. All right, watch out, Cannon. This is Kate's turn. Here she goes. Rocket number 4. Can she get more points than 6? 3, 2, 1, go. She landed dead on the bullseye and it jumped off the bullseye. That is 5 points. You're at 11 points now, Kate. 3 inside the cones and 1 dead on the bullseye. Oh my goodness, great job. All right, here's your last rocket. You are at 11 points. What can she go in with? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, 1 point. You end up with 12 points total. Kate, so far, is in the lead. It is 12 to your 4. All right, Carson is the last one up. He has to beat Kate's record of 12 points. And Kate so far is the only one to get a bullseye. So Carson's up with rocket number 1. 3, 2, 1. Wow. That one was a little short. That's probably the lowest one we've had so far.
I thought it would go far.
That's okay. We're adjusting. Now you know it takes a little more than that. Here we go. This is rocket number 2. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it bounced out. So right now you have 0 points. You almost had 1 point. That means you have 3 rockets left. Cannon, come over here. Carson, you have 3 rockets left to try to beat 12 points. Here we go. 3. Oh man. Let's see if you can get 2 bullseyes. You can tie up if you get 2 bullseyes.
No, I have 12.
Oh, no. That's right. It's 5 for 5. That's it. All right. Let's see how close you can come to getting Kate's. 3, 2, 1. Bombs away. Oh, just on the other side now. You overcorrected a little bit. You are on the other side and means you're outside the circle. That is only 0 points. Okay, so Cannon, you might just beat your older brother Carson, okay? Carson's gonna try to beat your 4 points and see if it's possible. Are you ready? Do you think he can do it? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bombs away. Oh no. Oh, inside the circle. And so you are receiving 3 points for being inside the cones. Wow, great job, guys. Let's line you up in the order of who won. Kate is first. Carson, you are last place. Good job, guys. Today, Kate is the winner of our challenge of the week. Awesome job.
Welcome back to Valley Kids. My name is Pastor Jim, and once again, we are joined by my good friend Diego, my friend who has been asking some great questions about God. Diego, thank you for coming back to Valley Kids with me.
No problem, Pastor Jim.
Now, Diego, in the last episode of Valley Kids, we left off with one of your really big questions about God.
Yeah, we ran out of time.
Do you remember what that question was?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So I want to start with that question, all right? So can you ask that question again?
Sure. I was saying that if God exists, why can't we see him? Why is he invisible, you know?
Sure, that's a very good question.
I mean, it seems like if God wanted us to believe in him, he would just come down from heaven and show up to everyone. Then he wouldn't be wondering if God exists or not.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And Diego, you're not the first person to ask that kind of question. Did you know that in the Bible there are people who wondered about that as well?
Oh no, I thought I came up with that.
No, here's what Isaiah says in Isaiah 45:15. Truly, you are a God who has been hiding himself. And if you read the Psalms, lots of them talk about God sort of hiding his face and hiding from people.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's true. But I want to give you a couple of answers that you can think about. Again, this is a really big question, but one that there are good answers to, and I'm just going to give you a few things to think about, okay? First, whenever we ask something like, why can't we see God if he exists? We usually are forgetting that God is a spirit.
A spirit?
Yes. Do you know what that means?
No.
All right, so it means that God doesn't have a body. The Bible tells us that God is a spirit, and he doesn't look like you or me because spirits don't have bodies.
Like a ghost?
Well, kind of, but ghosts aren't real. Maybe a better example would be the wind. It's kind of like asking, if the wind really does exist, why can't we see it?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So when we ask God to be visible to us, we want to be able to see him. We're asking him really to be like us, and he's just not. God is a spirit, and he's invisible by nature. And because he is so glorious, so amazingly awesome, if you or I were able to see him as a spirit in all of his glory, we would die.
But aren't there people in the Bible who saw God?
Yeah, kind of. Some people in the Bible were able to see a glimpse of God, a little bit of him, and some people were able to see God in the form of a human, which he can do. But no one ever saw God in his full glory, which brings us to a really good point, and that is, we oftentimes forget, Diego, that God actually did make himself very visible.
He did?
Yeah. Thousands of years ago, Jesus, who, remember, is God, God the Son, he came to earth and he was seen by thousands upon thousands of people. And there was God walking around on the streets of our earth. And you could touch him, you could hear him, just like we want us to be able to do with God.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's true. And did everyone believe that God existed when they could see God?
No, they didn't. A lot of people thought he was lying.
That's right. Even though Jesus was there and they could see him, and even though he did some amazing, amazing miracles, and he told people that God was his Father, it still didn't mean that everybody believed him. And that's probably the most important point in answering your question.
What's that?
Well, seeing God isn't just about having two physical eyeballs that you can see him. What you really need to be able to see God is spiritual vision or spiritual sight. I want you to remember at the end of the book of Luke, I don't know if you've read that book before or not, but at the end of the book of Luke, there's a story about two disciples who are very sad because Jesus just died. And so they're taking a walk and they're talking about Jesus. And suddenly, guess who shows up?
Jesus?
Yes, that's exactly right. And when they see him, even though they were his disciples, they didn't even recognize him. And eventually Jesus used the Bible to explain to them that he had to die. And they finally sat down to eat dinner together, and Jesus prayed and he took the bread and gave it to each of them. And suddenly, in that moment, they recognized who God, Jesus, really was.
So they could see Jesus with their eyes, but they couldn't recognize him until their hearts were changed.
That's right.
Diego, I love the questions you're asking right now. You're asking some really great questions, but we are out of time, so we're gonna have to keep this conversation going on the next episode, okay?
Okay, I have a few more questions.
Good, I'm glad. Hey, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks again for joining us for Valley Kids. We'll see you next time.